Good morning, afternoon, evening, gamers. So we are back with another look into the MMORPG genre of games. Yesterday I did the Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I have to say I enjoyed it, and we, played it way longer than I actually planned to. Um, I also did a video on Black Desert Online. So today, I thought we would have a look at probably one of my favourite games, although I don't get to play it as much as I would like to. The Elder Scrolls Online, and I think it falls nicely because we've been doing the Skyrim videos. So I think this is a nice segue into that. So let's get into it, shall we? And we can talk along the way. So here we go. Now these are my two characters, but I don't think we're not going to do them today, as this is an introduction into the game, and this is more a video for new players that are thinking about wanting to dip their toes into the MMO RPG waters, of games, of the gaming genre. And I'm doing this for a few reasons. I remember when I first started getting into MMOs. I started off with World of Warcraft. Later on, I played Terra, which I actually thought was okay. A lot of people were not that into it. Archmage as well. I tried that, and I've tried a few other. I've tried quite a lot of sort of MMORPGs. Some of them are still around. Some have gone by the way, but dwindling numbers. Or there was one I used to play. I really liked it, but because we live in one of those societies now where if some people don't like something or some people are offended by something, then it tends to get cancelled. It was like a sort of MMORPG type game, and it had beautiful, fairly busty ladies in it, and they went around killing stuff, shooting stuff, and it was honestly a pretty good game. I enjoyed it, and I mean it does still survive, but not to the extent that it was, and it sort of tends to keep its head down because, for the most part, it fell from favour from the popular ranks of MMOs just because of the nature of some people are offended. Which was a bit of a shame. Um, so yeah, when you start playing these games, they can be quite daunting. There is a lot to learn. There's so much going on, and there's so much to do, and you never know where to start. So that's primarily who these videos are aimed at. And full disclosure, I am not saying by any means that I am an expert on these games. I'm the type of player. I jump into games. I don't always sort of do any pre-reading up of the game and what I'm supposed to do. I like to jump in, try and find my way about, try and figure out what's going on, and then maybe later when I'm sort of getting into it more, maybe then I'll do some reading on hints and tips and things like that, which of course you can do later on as well. So this is just a little bit of a guide, and we're just going to have a look around, and you can see if you like the look of the game. Now this one, you need to buy it first. Now the base game, so what it is, you buy the base game, which has so much content, and then you can buy the latest DLC. So there was one for Elsewhere, which added dragons, the lands of the cat people, the Khajiit, There was one before that, Osinium, I think it was, with the Wardens, introduced the Warden class. Elsewhere introduced the Necromancer. And there's some more DLC coming out as well soon. But they are optional. You don't necessarily have to buy them. Also, as well, it's free to play. It's not. There's not a pay-to-win system. I've never come across that. There is a shop where you can buy cosmetics. You know, so you can buy skins. So this one here, what he's wearing, that armor is actually a skin. Under that, the armor looks nothing like that. It's just, to make yourself look pretty. A lot of people enjoy that, and it makes money. Other than that, there are, I would say, ease of life things like you can buy furniture for your housing. There's a huge housing system, which we will go into. So there's things that you can buy for your house, decorations, cosmetic items, clothing. There are some like foods you can buy and drinks that give you buffs and that. But I wouldn't say it gives you necessarily an edge over anybody else, really. It's just mostly they give you a bit of an edge in PvE. So when you're fighting the world's monsters and that. So so let's jump into it. So I'm not gonna use these two characters. We're gonna create a brand new character. So let's go. Okay, so basically you have your race of what you want to be, whether human or maybe you want to be a Khajiit. And then you have your class, what type of you want to be, magic or swords or what have you. And this is more of a fantasy game, unlike the Star Wars game. I mean, the Star Wars game is rather unique amongst MMOs. Most MMOs do tend to be swords and magic and dragons and things like that, monsters, things of that nature. Then you've got your body and your face, so that it has quite a deep customization option. If you're somebody who likes that sort of thing, you could literally spend hours just creating your character, if that's something that you want to do. Which, I don't knock anybody who wants to do it. And as you can see, the characters are, they're pretty good. This is the novice gear. So this is the sort of gear that you will sort of pick up along the way, more or less. You can see the champion gear. So this is the champion gear for this particular character. I'm not sure what she is. And then there's no gear, but we can't do that because, YouTube. They don't like anything that they don't like. As I said, unfortunately we live in that age. So we're going to go for a male first of all. So now you have three factions, if you like. So like in World of Warcraft, you had humans, you had dwarves, and elves, dark elves, that sort of thing, and they were in different groups. So here you have the Daggerfall Covenant, and in the Daggerfall Covenant you have the Bretons. So that's a Breton there. You have the Orcs. There's an Orc. You're kind of Shrek type characters. That's the only way I can describe them, really. Shrek type characters. And then you have your Red Guard. With the whole curved swords. Those guys from Hammerfell have curved swords. Then you have the Aldemiri Dominion. So you have the Khajiit, the cat people, which a lot of people like, maybe you've got a furry thing, not judging. I don't bother with any of that. if you like what you like, you like what you like. Then we have wood elves. These are the wood elves, more sort of nature, type people. And the high elves, who tend to be a bit snobby, a bit up themselves, I suppose. So that's the Aldemiri Dominion. Then you have the Ebonheart Pact, which is the third of the groups, if you like. And you have Argonians, the lizard people. Always makes me think of V. You remember that TV series? And there's the old Argonian lizards. Then you have the Dark Elves. There you go. The Dark Elves look a lot better than the ones did in Skyrim, that's for sure. And then you have the Nords. And just to give you a little rundown of what they do. So the Bretons, racial skills of the Bretons reflect their affinity for the arcane, increasing their base magicka. Magicka recovery, light armor, alliance points and spell resistance. Orcs, harsh mountain environments, bonuses to heavy armor, sprinting weapon damage, things like that. So no matter which character you pick, it will have different skills that you may want to use. Some will be skills that maybe you're not interested in. Other skills you might be more interested in. The other good thing to know as well about the Elder Scrolls Online is you're not really locked into any particular type of character. Like in Skyrim, you can use a sword in one hand, magic in the other. You can do that here. You can do exactly the same thing. You may not be as efficient if that's your thing, but I think if you're starting out in the game and you're just deciding whether you like it or not, I don't think you're going to worry about that too much. If obviously you already own this game and you play this game a lot and you're a veteran, all of that is of more interest to you. But that's not exactly the people that I'm sort of going for. So with all that said, I think we're going to go for a Nord. Gonna go for a Nord. Now, so we go on to class. So you have quite a few classes. Now you have the Dragon Knights. I believe this is the Dragon Knight. So this is the novice gear that you start off in, and then this is the champion gear that you get, sort of towards the end when you're doing end content, I'm guessing. Then we have the Sorcerer. There you have. Use staves, magic and that. Novice gear and champion gear. Then you have the Night Blades, which are more sort of assassin type characters. I'll quickly read through these. So Dragon Knights, these skillful masters at arms use the ancient Akaviri martial arts, tradition of battle spirit, and wield fearsome magic that pounds, shatters and physically alters the world around them. So that's what they do. Sorcerer. Sorcerers can use conjuration and destruction spells to hurl lightning bolts and create shock fields. Wield dark magic to snare and stun, and summon Daedric combat followers from Oblivion to assist them. Nightblades, which are more your sort of assassin type characters. Nightblades are adventurers and opportunists, with a gift for getting in and out of trouble, relying variously on stealth, blades and speed. Nightblades thrive on conflict and misfortune, trusting to their luck and cunning to survive. Templars. These travelling knights call upon the powers of light and the burning sun to deal massive damage to their enemies whilst restoring health, magicka and stamina to their allies, I would always say that Templars are a bit of a sort of... They're an all-rounder, really. Now, these two characters, Warden and Necromancer... Now, if you buy the base game, you will not have these two classes. These two classes basically came with DLC that I purchased. I believe the Warden was Orsinium, I think. I could be wrong on that. I bought it, but I can't for the life of me remember now. And then this latest one, Necromancer. Masters of Death, necromancers can call upon corpses to serve as undead thralls and weave ghastly spells to both harm and heal. And it also has warning: using certain necromancer abilities in town is a criminal act. Citizens and guards will react accordingly. So necromancers aren't really very well liked because it deals with death and reanimating, dead people, which if it's somebody's loved ones, I kind of see how, some people may take issue with that. But yeah, so if you buy the base game, these two classes will not be available to you. They come with the DLC. The Necromancer came with the latest DLC elsewhere. I think they call them chapters. You have chapters, and then you have DLC, which are sort of smaller sections, like the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and things like that. So sort of smaller bits of DLC. And then you have these big ones that are chapters, which have huge amounts of story in them. But if you're just starting the game, you don't really need to worry about any of that for a while. You just want to see if you like the game. You can pick the base game up fairly cheap. Obviously, it depends on the country that you're in as to the price. I know here in the UK, you can pick up the base game for about £15. Maybe even cheaper if you shop around. So it's an inexpensive entryway into the game, just to see, if you like it. And then if you do, you can always start thinking about DLC and chapters, like Orsinium and the Khajiit homeland. Also, as well, as I said, it's free to play. There is a subscription as well. It's absolutely optional. It gives you, again, a few quality of life things. It gives you so much crowns per month. Crowns are the kind of premium currency with which you can buy houses. You can go to the store and buy things. You can also buy things in the store. Not everything, I don't think, but some things you can buy with gold as well, if you have enough and you've made enough gold. You can definitely do that. Houses you can buy with crowns, but also you can save up the gold that you make in-game, and you can buy houses with that, which I think is very, very fair and quite reasonable. So either or either. I like the fact that you're given a choice of what you want to, of what you want to do. And so per month, I think it's about 300 crowns per month, and also I think you get a few sort of buffs and things like that, maybe not massive amounts of things. And one of the things I think that is the most useful item, it's a craft bag. So if you are wanting to get into crafting, this game has lots and lots of crafting. So if you buy yourself a house, I think you do get a house as well as part of the game. You get like a little room in an inn. So you get your own little house, and you can make furniture to decorate it, and that's a whole thing of itself. You can get really creative and you can make amazing things. And a lot of people buy the bigger houses, turn them into guild, into guild houses and things like that. So you can really do a massive amount of things. And that's just one section of the game, crafting. It's huge. And what this bag does, it's unlimited, so you can store all your crafting items in it, so you can go out throughout the world collecting stuff. It just goes into this bag and unlimited. Whereas if you don't have premium, you don't get access to that bag. So crafting is going to be a bit more difficult. You're going to have to be making frequent trips to your bank. So you have bank space, like you did with the Old Republic. It has different names on there. It was a cargo hold of a ship. With this, it's the banker who are in most of the big towns, and you get so many slots. I think you can unlock more slots. You pay with gold, and so you can you can store all your items there if you want to. It's not a bad system. It just means that you're going to have to be making frequent trips to a town with a banker, because you will find that your backpack, your own private inventory on your character will get full pretty quick if you're collecting craft items. Some of it stacks and some of it doesn't, but I think even if it stacks, there is still a limit. So something just to bear in mind. I'm giving you probably a bit too much information, so you don't really need to worry about that, but I do like to try and be as precise as I can, because I'm always going to get the people that are going to leave a message saying you didn't mention this and you didn't mention that. It's like, you try to do your best. So yeah, that's all the characters, so you don't really need to worry about these two. So I think we're going to have a Nord. It ties in rather nicely. We've been doing the Skyrim series, so we can do a Nord, and we probably then start off in the lands of Skyrim, or sort of around that area somewhere. So let's have the Nord, and I think we'll have a Templar. One other thing I would say, and it's just a suggestion, when you're starting off in the game, you play the game how you like. And this game is very good for that. You can create pretty much any type of character you want, but maybe for your first character you just want to kind of maybe stick to a standard thing for the time being until you sort of get into it. As particularly if you haven't played an MMO RPG before. The one thing I would say, Nightblades, I found in my own experience, I've got a Nightblade. When you're starting out with the game, they are quite difficult to play. There are some characters that are easier than others. So I would say Templars are a lot easier to play if you're a new character. Maybe a Dragon Knight. Sorcerers, I would say, are Nightblades. Some people may disagree. I would say they're more difficult characters to play if it's your first time. But, you do you, and if you want to play a Nightblade, you carry on. It's, if you're just finding your way through the game and just trying things out, I don't think it's going to matter too much. I just thought I would throw it out there. So we're going to be a Nord. We're going to be a Templar. So here's now, like I said, you could spend a good couple of hours just customizing your character if that is your thing. There are so many settings. Chest size, torso size, gut size, waist size, arms, hands, hips, posterior, legs, feet, you name it. There is so much. Skin color, you can have whatever skin type you want. You can be thin, you can be large, thin, you can be muscular, you can be all sorts. I tend to put it somewhere in the middle, maybe favouring a little bit more muscular, maybe. I think that would do me. And then the face, You've got voices as well, so you can. There's a few more voices than there used to be, I think. Sounds like Santa, to be honest. So that's, you know, that's pretty much what that does. You've got hairstyles, so, you know, do that. Also, you know, quite a lot of different styles. I think we're going to go with that, to be honest. Hair colour, we can do, I don't know, brown or something. So, gonna have no facial or anything. You know, and again, you can do the face, forehead, cheekbones, jaw size, eyes. You know, you name it. It really is up to you. Green eyes, that's fine. You can do eye size, and it really is. You could spend absolutely ages doing this. So, that seems fine to me. He reminds me a bit of the guy out of Shrek. Prince. Was he like Prince Charming or something? Reminds me a bit of him. But anyway, never mind. So yeah, I don't know why that keeps moving. Right, so that's fine. So that's the novice gear. So that's probably more or less what we're going to start off in eventually. Right, so let's have a name, shall we? So we shall have Shadows. Shadows Within. So that will do. You have played through a tutorial with the previous character. You may choose to play through it again with Shadows Within or skip it. Right. Okay. So we're not going to skip it. This is a fairly recent thing. It used to be that you had to play through the opening part, and then, you know, and then after that, with every character you created, you had to do it again. But now they've put it in so that you can skip it. But we are going to we're going to go through it because it's just for people, you know, going from the beginning. So let's do it. So we're just waiting for the character to load.
Easy now, Walker. You're all right. This is Starhaven, home to peaceful adepts. There is a letter and the key to the door on the dresser.
So here we go. WASD to move around, as you know, as is, you know, fairly normal. That's over here. So there's bookshelves. You can have a little read. The one thing I would say, you don't really need to worry about this in the beginning, but as I was saying in one of these Skyrim videos, reading books wherever you can is always good, because you will pick up skills and useful items. As you can see, it's a very pretty looking game, I would say. This is pretty much sort of maximum details, and when you get close to things, it gets a little bit worse, but not quite as bad as the Knights, the Knights Republic, the Star Wars one. That one, the clothing was pretty bad when you got up close. This is, it's similar, but it's not quite as bad. I guess it's just something you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to get used to, I guess. So let's read the letter. I am Abnar Tharn, battle mage and former advisor to the Emperor, and I am calling for allies to join me in the Khajiit homeland and assist the Khajiit Defense Force to stop a rage of dragons. This terrible danger sweeps through northern Elsewhere, the province the Khajiit refer to as Anquina. I probably murdered that. I have decided to offer my services to Lord Gareshi, the Speaker of the Main, to help their homeland. In this time of great need, I cannot deal with this threat by myself. If you have sword or spell and a desire to test yourself against the ultimate enemy, find me in the town of Riverhold at Khazar Hall. And no, this is not a prank. The dragons have returned. A prank. So so there we go. That's kind of that's what's going on. Halt.
For surviving a dragon attack, you look well. The healers did an admirable job, yes?
Sure. I guess so. A rune key. So we can take that. Now I think you can set yourself up to just automatically, when you're out looting animals and such things, I think you can just set it up to auto loot, which is kind of a good idea unless you are one of those people who wants to sort through, you know, what they're picking up, you know, which is fair enough. So either really. And here we go. We are out.
Good. You're awake. Come, let us speak.
Well, he was talking to me, but you know.
Zamorak is pleased to see you are awake. You have slept for many days, and this one feared the worst. Still, it is not every day that one walks away from a dragon attack.
No, that's very true. I was attacked by a dragon?
We both were. The caravan that brought us to northern Elsewhere was attacked by the great beast. Luckily, the adepts of Starhaven witnessed the event and came to our aid. They brought us here and worked diligently to heal us.
Well, he looks pretty good. He looks alright. Who are you?
A humble adept, nothing more. This one was exiled from his home long ago, but felt the time had come for him to return.
Why were you exiled?
That is not a tale that Zamorak wishes to tell.
Fair enough.
Not right now. Besides, the Grand Adept wants to talk with you. Best not to keep him waiting.
No, fair enough. But I thought I would say hello to you first. It would be rude if I just ignored you. Now, a lot of things in this world are, you know, you can look in them. You can basically interact with quite a lot of the world. So there we go. So we've got some cool stuff. Threat of the Bandari peddlers. So we could read that later, maybe. We better see what this guy wants, because yeah.
Greetings. This one is Majadro, Grand Adept of Starhaven. He is glad to see you in good health, traveler. It is not every day that one survives a dragon attack. Bright moons must have blessed your path.
Bright moons. There was a letter from Abnar Tharn. Do you know anything about it?
You were carrying the letter when we found you. It looked important, so we left it where you could find it. But how do you feel, traveler? Did the dragon cause any permanent damage?
No, I don't think so.
Let us test your strength then, yes? Though this one is now Grand Adept, he once trained the warriors of Starhaven. Sadly, it has been many years since Majadro last sparred with a pupil.
You want to spar with me? I've been attacked by a dragon, healed, and now you want to fight me. Excellent. Sounds like a great bedside manner.
Not here, of course. This is no tavern brawl. Collect a training sword and meet this one outside in the gardens. Let us prove ourselves where Joan and Jode can see us.
Who's Joan and Jode? I do hear them. I think I've heard the people of elsewhere in Skyrim say something about Joan and Jode.
Take out one of our training swords and meet this one in the gardens.
Oh, so let's go and find some stuff. There's a backpack. Oh, what's in here? Yep. Oh, a sword. So we can have that. Oh, and the sword actually disappears. That's pretty cool. Let's go in here, see if there is if there's anything. No. Ooh, millet search. So yeah, as you travel through the world, look through everything, because you might always find interesting things that are going to be interesting to you. So select an item to view its property. Press E to equip or use an item. Right click when selecting an item to view more actions, and mark unwanted items as junk. You can quickly sell all junk items at any store. So what it does is it puts them in a separate place, and then when you go up to a vendor, you can just sell them all in one go, rather than having to go through and buying, selling each separate thing, which can take time if you're one of those people that's in a hurry. Again. Now here, these blueprints, you will find these scattered throughout the world. In order to make something, so for instance, if you wanted to make a Nord kitchen table, you need this. They're called they tend to, in the game they're called blueprints, but a lot of players tend to call them mats. Why they call them mats, I don't know, but that seems to be what they call them. And you need mats to make things, to create things, or a blueprint in order to make the thing that you want to make. Once you have that, then yeah, you can do that. Forgotten Adventurer's shirt, Forgotten Adventurer's boots, and Forgotten Adventurer's trousers. Now these here are what I think are known as like a cosmetic type outfit. It used to be just one. It took one slot, but it looks like they've improved upon that since I was. So there we go. So you just drag the sword over to your character, and there we go. So we have a sword. Now up here, this is all of the items that you're carrying, and then you can change it to what weapons you've got, what armor you've got, jewelry. You can wear jewelry, which gives you added benefits, just like you can in Skyrim. And there's consumables like potions and food, and obviously blueprints and things like that. Materials, the things that you've collected in order to make things. Here you've got furnishings. Again, I think that's things that you can make. Miscellaneous, so lockpicks. Your quests, so here's your letter from Abnarthan. Quest things that you pick up, that's where you'll find them. And then here is your junk items to stick things so that you can sell them later. This is your craft bag. and here's all the stuff in it, which it doesn't actually throw out, which I'm quite surprised about. I thought it would. I thought as because at the moment I'm not on ESO Plus, the pay per month. I kind of forgot about it. But I thought that it would put all this into my inventory, and it hasn't. Currency. So this is all the things I have. So apparently I have about 10,000 crowns, which obviously I was paying the ESO Plus membership for a while before I forgot about it. I haven't been on to ESO for a while, so my crowns have collected up a fair bit. Then you have crown gems. I think crown gems are something separate that you can buy, or you collect them out in the world. I can't quite remember about them. Alliance points, again, I think that's to do with battles. Again, like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs of this game. I was still sort of learning it myself when I went off to play some other things. As much as I would like to just play one thing, I find it very, very difficult to just stick to one game. I should settle down, really. So yeah, so you don't really need to worry about all of that sort of too much. There's your character. We haven't got any gold yet or anything, and that would be my account. So yeah, so there we go. So we've got all that out of the way. So let's what are those? They look cool. Oh, you can sit down as well in chairs and that. I think you can lie down in beds as well, I believe. I don't know whether there is a sleeping option though, I'm not sure. So here we go. What's in it? Oh, some mint. Threat of the Bandari Peddlers again. So we're not... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Dear. Yep, here we go. So it will give you a marker to show you where to go. The little white marker. Oh, it's very pretty. Now, if you have the base game, your starting point will be very, very different. Now, there is a very rich and quite deep story to the Elder Scrolls Online. The base game, because I bought DLC, for some reason, it sent me here to the Elsewhere DLC. When you have the base game, you start off with the main story, and you are in prison, and you have to escape. I don't want to go into too much more of it than that, but basically you have to escape jail, and that will be the starting point of the main game, and introduces you to the main story. But for some reason, I don't know why they do it, but if you've bought a DLC, then they start you in the new DLC. Oh, some natural water. That's cool. The natural waters, it's not for drinking. It can be used to make poisons, and not just poisons, but all sorts of crafting items. Some lemon. So as you can see, as you're going throughout the world, you can catch butterflies. Yep, got the butterfly. So yeah, you know, as you go around, you can search, yeah, absolutely everything. There we go. You can sprint in this game as well. The more modern ones you can, so you can go much faster. Oh my goodness, there's a big old tiger. Look at that. That's cool. Look at the sand. Oh, and there's people. So this seems to be a sort of more of a martial arts place. So this is pretty cool. I mean, obviously I haven't seen this DLC. I mean, I bought it and I pre-purchased it, and then I was waiting for it, and then, as I said, I wandered off to play some other games and kind of forgot, to be honest with you. You know, and don't take that to mean that that I don't like the game. I love the game. Like I said, it's very hard for me because yeah, I want to play everything, and there's always so many games dropping. Look at these animals. So that's a panther, I believe. That's is that like a white lioness? That's pretty cool. So, right, okay.
The sky's warned of a changing season. Can you see it?
Yep, sort of. Oh, also it says status effect. You have been targeted by a status effect. I don't know why. I don't know who that was or why. So, okay.
This one fears the dragon that attacked you was only the beginning, traveler. Dark moons loom on Elsewhere's horizon. Of that, Majadro has little doubt. But enough talk. We came here to spar, did we not?
Is sparring really the best way to determine if I'm fully recovered?
Majadro can think of no better. Like the two divine moons that dance in harmony. Let the balance of your blade reflect the balance of your soul. Are you prepared to stop?
I guess so.
Let us begin. Strike, Majadro, quickly now. A healthy blow. Very good. Sleek work. You strike well, but can you guard? Now, lock this. Quick! Strike while this one is off balance. What a powerful blow! Again, Trap. Swing with all your might. A brutal hit. Shield yourself. Strike with force, Traveler. Such masterful strikes. But what if you are in distress? Now break free of this one's trap.
Alright, so...
Here comes another trap. Get ready for another. Now, fast. Again. Press your advantage with a heavy attack. Again. Stop this one's attack.
So we're just doing the...
If your enemy charges their assault, strike. Interrupt their attack and punish their hesitation. How good it feels to spar with a student again.
Cool.
Come now, let us continue to the Adeptorium.
I don't actually know why we're... I suppose because it is a new character, so they're assuming that, you know, you don't know too much, so that's fair enough. Also there as well, you saw that I got something called some champion points. You don't need to worry about that in the beginning on the base game with your first character. So here we've got the usual thing. We've got magic, we've got health, and we've got stamina. So you decide what you want. Now we are a Templar, so I'm guessing we're going to want to use magic. So we're going to, I think we're going to use magic, and we are going to, I think we're going to use some stamina. Oh no, you have use these to increase your health, magicka, and stamina. Yep. So I commit a point there. Skill lines allow you to customize. Now, if they are still doing it, now up here there are some little gears. Now this is great for people just starting. I think when I started it, it didn't have this, and you know I wish it had, because like all MMOs, it's very deep. It's quite complicated, you know, and you can feel pretty overwhelmed, really. So this is the advisor settings, and what it will do, it will select the type of player you want to be, and will help guide your choices by giving you hints as you progress. So it will just help you to know what to choose in order to, you know, to get a good experience. So we are a Templar. So, yep. So there we go. No. So there we go. So, yep. So the advised abilities it's saying is to go for puncturing strikes, rushed ceremony, and sunfire. So you know you can go. You probably we're on puncturing strikes, so we'll go for that one. There we go. The ability you purchased has been added to the first slot of your ability bar. Press 1 to use the ability. So now, in some MMOs, not all, I remember particularly with WoW, you had just rows and rows of slots that you could just have so much stuff, and I always used to find that quite that in itself was quite daunting, that you had so much stuff to use. Well, with this game, you get 5 slots and an ultimate ability, and that's all you get for your main-handed weapon. You can then equip. So, say you want to play with a sword and a shield, you can do that. You can then have. You don't get it right away. I think it's about level 10, level 15, something like that. You get a secondary weapon that you can use, that you can switch to. So you could have a bow if you want to. You could have a magic staff. Really anything you like. And so you will then get another bar that you can switch to, and that will have a set of 5 and an ultimate. So you can have a main weapon, so sword and shield, and you could have a secondary weapon of a bow, for instance, and they will have different abilities that you can slot. So that is that. Skill points I don't have any more, so I'm just using. We've got puncturing strikes for now. You received a notification, so press N. Invitations to guilds and contacts are moved to the notifications window if you cannot answer them right away. So that's pretty good. So I don't believe I do, so it's probably just telling me.
Wait, did you hear that?
Uh-oh. Drag...
Look out!
Oh my...
Must help the other adepts. Take the passage through the catacombs. This one must go on Zamorak.
But I've only got a practice sword. Are you kidding me? Oh man. Right. So where are we going? Do we have... Right, so we have a map, so we need to go there. Yep. So, there we go. So we're going over there. So, you don't get a map like you normally do with most games, a mini-map. On here, you just get the bar at the top, like you did in Skyrim. And it will just basically show you where you're going. Some people like it. Some people prefer, you know, a mini-map. Oh, a backpack. Oh, we've got some star metal. That's pretty good to find early on. Star metal's quite a I believe it's quite a rare. I'll press Control to sneak. So you can sneak. Cool. So, yeah. So the Halls of Eternal Rest. So now normally I would spend ages just... oh. We've got some more weapons. So we've got... Ooh there. Oh, jeez. We've got a bow. We've got some boots. We've got a shield. An Inferno staff. Or a mace. What else have we got? Daggers. Axes. A bow. A jerkin. What else we got? A necklace. We are just robbing everything at this point. Some guards. Right, so have we got anything else? We've got a hat as well. So we should be able to you know, put on some better gear. So so that's my helmet, like it or not. So we've got some of them. What else have we got? Some bracers. Yep. Some rawhide boots. Yep. So if we go on to here. There we go. That took a little while, but it doesn't matter. And I'm going to have a shield. Well, I don't think the sword is going to be much good, do you? I'm going to have an axe, I think. Right, so where are we going? I think we're going down here. And then we just go through here. Oh, now we've got a recipe as well. So again, recipes will help you to make food. As I said, the crafting, it's not just oh, there's a sword in here. I do prefer swords. Great swords. I'm not a huge fan of great swords, I'll be honest. Is this a case of mummies? Right. Let me, where's... Yes. I think I want that, to be honest with you. Yeah. So that is pretty much what the spear skill does. So there we go. One hand and shield increases to, you know, to. So there we go. So the dead seem to be waking up, as they always do in these games. So we're getting some better gear, I think, which we may not be able to wear straight away, but you know, we'll collect it anyway. Right, so that's pretty good. Daggers, yeah. That appears to be, yep, that's another player, so that's cool. Some more bone. Bone, I believe, helps you to make weapons as well. You can make your own weapons, so you can make furniture, you can make food, you can make weapons, armor. Yeah, the usual things, I think, in crafting. Yeah. Tomb of the Grand Adepts.
Stop this! Starhaven's adepts are peaceful!
Another corpse for our army! How grand!
John and Jord, you arrived.
Sweetheart pendant and some gold. Oh dear, he doesn't look too good.
Swiftclaw. Without your help, we would have surely perished here.
Who are these attackers?
Followers of the Rimmen Queen Euraxia Tharn. It seems they seek something, and are not afraid to kill those who stand in their way.
What are they looking for?
The soldier spoke of hidden secrets in ancient graves, but it seems they are beginning to realize that there is nothing here for them. I can only hope that they will soon depart and leave us in peace. And take their dragon with them, yes?
Well, no, hopefully. I mean, you know, hopefully that's what they do. They might not, of course.
Well, it looks like you've certainly recovered from your wounds. And just in time to put that Euraxian Jekyll's seat in his place. Ziswo, is this one grateful we found you in that wreckage?
Do you know why the Adeptorium is under attack?
The soldiers said they were searching for something, but they barely gave us any chance to respond before they started attacking. It is best to leave. There is no reasoning with these maniacs.
They have a dragon as well. That makes escaping difficult.
Yes. This one heard its terrible voice, like something out of a Moonsinger's stories.
A Moonsinger?
Ishadi had hoped to make her way to the Dragonhorn Tower, but she fears that fierce warriors now block her path. Not to mention the dragon circling overhead.
What's in the Dragonhorn Tower?
Atop the tower sits the Dragonhorn, said to ground dragons with one mighty call. Though Ishadi is not sure if the legends are true, it is our best hope against such a brutal foe. All we need is someone to blow the horn. It seems folly not to try.
Well, I suppose. I mean, although if you don't know if it actually works, you know. Okay, I'll find this dragon horn and see if we can defeat the dragon.
Then you must exit the catacombs and follow the path north. There, you will see the tower. This one cannot promise the plan will work, of course. The dragon horn is very ancient, very brittle. But we must try, yes? Moons be with us.
Right, okay, what will you do now?
We will wait until you have blown the dragon horn. If the dragon is subdued, that will be our best chance to escape. If not, well, we will try to be swift.
The Grand Adept and Zamarak should be heading out as well.
That is good to hear. Ishadi feared the worst. If you see them again, try to stay by the Grand Adept's side. He may seem steady as a rock, but age has caused his edges to crumble.
Okay, tell me more about the Dragon Horn Tower.
Many moons ago, Akaviri warriors known as the Dragon Guard protected this land. It was they who built the Dragon Horn Tower, a gift to safeguard Starhaven against the dragons that once plagued elsewhere.
So the Dragon Guard helped elsewhere fight against the dragons?
So the legends say. What a shame the Dragon Guard no longer walk the sands of elsewhere. We could use such warriors during these troubling times.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, is Jade. Goodbye. They're very pretty. The cat people of elsewhere. Said north, didn't she? So we're just... So there we go. You obviously have to be quite careful of your
Queen Euraxia wants this place searched from top to bottom.
Right, so if we sneak, we can sort of try to get out.
Never thought I'd see a dragon, much less fight alongside one.
Yeah, true.
Queen Euraxia want body parts. I know. Don't risk it. I'm sick of these cats. The sooner we torch this place, the better.
Why? What's wrong with cats? I kind of like cats, but then, you know, some people are not cat people, really. Some people are more dog people, I guess. Or in this case, dragon people. There we go, 6 gold. So when you see that kind of glow around them, it means that they've got something that you can loot from them, which is kind of cool. Oh, some seasoning, some apples. That's always useful. Oh, we were supposed to be going north. Oh, I think I see the, okay. We shall just avoid people if we have to. Oh my goodness. Okay. the Dragon Heart Tower. So, did that work or not? Where's the adaptorium?
How long are we supposed to find any? The dragon may be subdued, but not for long. This one fears for those inside the adaptorium.
Then Zamorak and the Traveler will go. You should take this chance to escape.
Majadro will not run while his disciples are in danger.
As you wish. Let us be quick then.
Yes, let us be quick. Oh my goodness.
The beast
Really?
blocks our way. We must fight.
Really? I've got to fight a dragon?
Fools! Return to my side.
The beast departs. Quick, let us leave.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I think fighting a dragon as a beginner is a bit much.
Let us leave this place before the beast returns.
Why
Absolutely.
did the dragon flee?
Absolutely.
It was called away. This one heard its name on the wind. Balogdan.
Called away. Do the dragons work together?
Perhaps. At the very least, this dragon seems to have allied himself with the Euraxians.
Then the rebellion has begun.
Yes. This one is afraid it has.
Oh dear. A rebellion is never a good thing.
Come, traveler. Let us speak. Thank you for saving Majadro's disciples. You have a courageous spirit. It will do you well should you decide to stay elsewhere. And this one does hope you decide to stay.
Oh, we're gonna stay,
The
probably.
Khajiit need heroes like you during these dark times.
Elsewhere certainly seems to have its share of troubles.
And only more to come, this one fears. Before you leave, you should speak to Zamorak. It seems that he's also decided to leave us. Perhaps he can help guide you to your next location.
Absolutely, why not? So we will receive a Caravanner's strong box. This box supposedly belongs to you, though your memory of it is hazy. Its contents will no doubt help you get back on your feet. You've got 1 skill point, complete quest.
One more thing.
What will we do now?
Starhaven is no longer safe. Who knows when it will be attacked again?
To give in to despair, this is easy. Let us instead find strength and hope. Joan and Joel will one day shine on Starhaven again.
So we get a
This
crown
must
fortifying meal.
continue to
So we can get that. And we shall level up our health, I think. And maybe some more. No, that seems to be it. So that's fine. So there we go. Rushed Ceremony, Sunfire, Pierced Javelin, Puncture and Strikes. So, what should we have? So here's your class, and you have 3 different types. So you have a Sadric Spear, Dawn's Wrath, which gives you different things. So what does this one do? Sunfire, so blasts an enemy with a charge of radiant heat, dealing 1,537 flame damage, and additional 3,070 flame damage over 10 seconds, so that's pretty good. And then you have Restoring Light and Rushed Ceremony. So beacon your inner light, healing yourself or a wounded ally in front of you for 4,614 health. So I think we're going to go for that one, I think. Because then we can heal ourselves if we're getting into difficulties. And so there we go. Right, so I would just be 1 minute. Sorry about that, everybody. But when nature calls, you have to go with it, I'm afraid. Right, so we can resume. Right, what does Zamorak want?
Starhaven is safe, but the danger is far from over. I fear there is still much to do, Walker.
What do you suggest, Zamorak?
The letter you carried. Zamorak must confess that he read it while you were recovering. This one has heard of Abner Thar. He is a battle mage and former advisor to the Emperor. He seeks allies to stand against this rage of dragons.
So are you going to help him?
Zamorak wants to help the Khajiit Defense Force, but he has something he needs to check on first. But you, Walker, your aid would be immeasurable. Find Abner Tharn in Riverhold. Offer your assistance against the dragons.
Okay, so I'll find Abner Tharn in Riverhold. Okay, so there we go. So before we go, we're just going to have a little look around, because, you know, if you can, you should. I mean, now I'm not particularly one for crafting. I always say I'm gonna have a go, and I usually end up like not doing that. So yeah. Also, quick slots. Yeah, I don't. So you can use quick slots to easily access potions and other items. So press I, then select quick shots. Quick slots, I should say, in the upper right corner of the window. Drag items to the desired slot. Selecting an active quick slot, hold Q to bring up your quick slots. Select the desired item and release Q. So I'll show you what that looks like. So that is your quick slot. So you can put your potions in there, magic potions and such like. So yeah, you can just press Q, pick what you want, press Q again, and it will go. So there's that. Oh, so the Sweet Silver Pendant increases maximum health by 858. So we should probably put that on, because that's going to be good for us. So you can either right click and just bind item, or you can drag and drop. Either or either, really. Right. So use. Right. So here we've got some lockpicks, a soul gem, just like in Skyrim. Soul gems, you will use them to enchant weapons, which you can do in this game, just the same as you could in Skyrim. So there we go. So that's cool. You received a soul gem. Use it to recharge enchanted weapons. Oh yeah, you can use them to revive fallen allies as well, or revive your self. Also as well, because if you choose a paladin character, you can heal companions as well. So let's go and have a look at elsewhere, shall we? Now, I haven't seen any of this. We haven't even got to the best part yet as well. And I think it's probably one of the most unique selling points, I would say, about the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, basically, it's, as you would imagine with an MMO, it is a huge game. Now, if we have a look at the map, houses, yeah. Can we press M again? No. Zone guide. No, that's not it. There is a way to show you the entire world, and it's pretty large. So here we go. So here are all the places. So you've got the Akaleri Desert, Oridon, Balfoyen, Bleak Rock Isle, the Clockwork City. Now, some of these are DLC, so some of them you may not be able to go to. So for instance, the Clockwork City is DLC. Now, if you haven't bought that DLC, you won't be able to go there. Vardenfell, I think you can't go to. Somerset Isles, you won't be able to go to unless you have the DLC elsewhere. So there are a few places you can't go, but there are a lot of other places that you can go. So yeah, so Bleak Rock Isle, for instance. Now that's, I think, is part of Skyrim, I believe. Craglorn, Cyrodiil. Now Cyrodiil is again, this is not really somewhere you'll need to go in the beginning. I don't think you even can go there until you are a certain level. Yeah, but basically this is the Imperial City. So in that game that I can't think of, I'm just trying to picture the game. It was the one where the portals opened up. Good grief. It's really terrible when something just won't come to mind. And I have played the game. I own the game. But basically, this is the Imperial City, and it's in more or less the center of the map. When you get to a certain level, and you join a particular faction, so therefore we are part. So our faction will be able to go there, and you fight against the other two factions. So the Aldermary Dominion, for one. And basically, you fight to control the city, I suppose, and you can crown an emperor. A player can be crowned emperor of Tamriel. So it's pretty cool. I mean, again, to begin with, you won't really need to worry about any of that, but you know, it may be something that you're going to be into. Somerset is, of course, where the elves live. The Rift, I don't know. I've never been there. Oh, this here. These are all the houses you can buy. So if we left-click to preview the houses, here's some of all the houses that you can buy. Now, some people, they play the game and they collect houses, and that's what they do. So if you're somebody who's not particularly into the fighting aspect, don't worry. There are lots of things you can do in this game. You can collect houses and then decorate them. You can just be, you can basically go throughout the world making different types of furniture. Also, as well, for every different area, so Elsewhere, Stormhaven, Stross Mackay, the Somerset Isles, all these areas have their own types of furniture, unique furniture to that area. So you will then have to find mats to make those, to make the items unique to that area, to sell. But this isn't even the best bit about the game. Now, one of the best parts about the game is you can go anywhere in the game. You can go to any of these places, apart from Cyrodiil, because Cyrodiil is it's basically a PvP zone. So if you were to go there at probably too early, you're just going to get killed all the time. So that's why the game doesn't allow you to go there straight away. But apart from that, you can go anywhere in the game, and it doesn't matter what race you are. You can go to any of these places. So for instance, let's go to the Alkaleri Desert. So zoom in. I've never actually done it, so I don't set a destination. Now you need to, it might be a little bit too early to go, maybe. There should be some way shrines somewhere. Okay. You're just going to prove me wrong, aren't you? So left click to recall to here. So you can go... do we actually have any gold? Yes, we have 80 gold. So, we'll open the map again. There's a dragon. So, so it actually tracks the dragons as well, so that's pretty cool. We're near... Now, these here are way shrines, and basically what they allow you to do is to basically fast travel, like you could in Skyrim. So you go to these way shrines, and then you will be able to go to lots of different places. So where were we going? Bleak Rock, weren't we? So left click. So it's going to cost 38 gold. Off the northeast coast of Skyrim, so we're going back to Skyrim. Oh, also as well, there is and so here we are. Here we are in Skyrim. Well, sort of near Skyrim. And yeah. So, like I said, basically you can go to most places. Now, the reason being that you need to, wherever you go, there needs to be a way shrine. And you need to have the gold to go there. But apart from that, you can go. So I can't. Okay, there's. Oh, that's a dungeon. Okay. Now the dungeons, there are group dungeons. So this one, oh, that's an. You can unlock that area with an ESO Plus membership, or by purchasing Lair of, yeah, so that's a piece of DLC. So it will tell you if you need to buy that DLC or not. So Deshan, that doesn't seem to be a way shrine. Yeah. Kanathi's Roots, so you can go there. I mean, you can't, we haven't got the gold, but, I mean, you can. Reaper's March. Talk to Abnathan. Some more dungeons. So, basically, there are group dungeons. There are solo dungeons, if you want to play solo. And I think there's another type of dungeon that you can kind of do by yourself, but they're a lot harder. So here's Tamriel, there's Cold Harbour, Orteum, and the Clockwork City. So as you can see, it's quite a big place. Rothgar. So you can go there. I think this might be a DLC again, though, that I have, but in the base game you probably won't have. Oredan, again, this is DLC. This is where the elves live. I can go there. Kind of can't. Bankerai, Grantwood. So, when I said you can go anywhere, maybe you can't go everywhere, because some of these places are DLC. But there are, there's quite a few places you could go. Davon's Watch. Vardenfell. So, you get the idea. With the base game, whatever is there is, places that you would be able to go to. So yeah. So we could have a look around here, I guess. See if there is anything interesting around. Look at the water, though. Doesn't the water look nice? I mean, I think it does. I think it's a beautiful looking game. I really do. I mean, sometimes in some parts, when you get the light playing across the water, I've just stood here, just like looking at the water, so I thought it was great, and a couple of times I got killed. Because, yeah, there was something creeping up on me. Do 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 do. Oh, there's a spider. So, you know, you get 40 experience just from doing that, you know. If you have a red space near you, get out of it. Yeah, so, you know, basically, if underneath your feet there is red, get out of it. Because basically it's not good for you. We'll just go and... Oh, some Columbine. Achievement unlocked. Raven... Resin harvester. So we've got a sip of health and some braces. So what we could now do is press Q. Oh, actually, I think, yeah. And then you can press Q, and you can drag that to there like that. And then you can just, you know, during a battle, you can just, you know, use it. And so that's that pretty much. So, you know, we'll just fight some spiders. And there we go. It's, you know, it's not too bad. And unlike with the Star Wars: The Old Republic, it's not tab targeting. So you are just free to attack, and you don't have to, you know, you don't have to worry about any of that targeting. You know, what you fight. Also as well, unlike the Republic, you've got more of a dodge, so you can dodge a bit more. So you basically just double tap D, and you can roll forwards, you can roll backwards. And to the sides. Yeah, so you can basically dodge in all four directions. And there we go, some bit more experience. And light armor increases to 5. Also as well, every time A bit like with the Old Republic. Every time you discover something new, you will get experience. Oh, we got a spider's egg. And so yeah, we and I mean I think the game is pretty active. I think there's a lot of players playing the game. It's about 5 years old, I think. Oh, this is quite interesting. These are called rune stones. And so you collect them, and it's for enchanting, so for enchanting your weapons. So there we go, Hosen's Folly. So just for finding this place, we got 74 experience points. And so, yeah. Oh. Oh, a bandit note. Again, you will get people that will just do that, but they are... I have found on this game they're trying to be a bit more helpful. So we've got another sip of health there. And there we go. So, you know, you try to get yourself useful things, and you know, you get armor and drops, and you get gold. So yeah, you know, it's not too bad. I definitely prefer this this type of targeting system. But you know, a lot of people grew up with the tag system. And there we go. We've got some more experience. So I think if we press Q, yeah. So as you get sips of health, it's adding them to your quick slot. So you know that's pretty cool. This little imp here is a player's like, you know, pet or something. Some of them don't really do a lot. They're just, you know, they're just pets, really. Some of them I think you can use to help you in battles as well. So so your inventory is full, so once you're full up, you really can't, you know, take any more. So yeah. Now, obviously, I am playing on PC, but you can certainly get this game on Xbox, and I think it's on. Or I would like. Oh yeah, I would like to hope that that it's on PS4 as well. Oh, there's fishing as well. You can do fishing. So, you know, if that's something you like to do, you can do that. I don't think it's quite as involved as well as Black Desert Online. It's not so bad. Oh, let me show you one of these. Now, there's quite a lot of points that you can get in the game anyway. I don't know the exact amount, but you can get extra ones as well, as the lizard here is doing. So you go to here. And I'll read this to you. Sky shards are scattered across the lands of Tamriel. For every 3 sky shards you collect, your character gains an extra skill point. You know, and these can come in quite useful. So you can collect yourselves lots and lots of points. You know, and basically just get yourself lots of things that you can use. Yeah, as in skills and such. Oh, fell in the water. That's going to be cold. So I found somewhere else. So that's, you know, that's another 74. Another 74, you know, XP. You know, just for finding somewhere new. Yeah. It really is, you know, I think it's definitely one of the top games, in my opinion. Having said that, I am probably a bit biased because, you know, I love Skyrim. Skyrim is probably one of my most favourite games, and you know, this reminds me of it, you know, quite a bit. So we're just trying to take these spiders down. There we go. Can't have that, obviously. So there's, you know, there's not much up here, really. You can just sort of look out over the lands of Skyrim, or near Skyrim. Yeah. And there's little pets as well. Now, I do have horses, but obviously you can't use your horse straight away. And that's your shield. It's, you know, so you can block. And in this game, I mean, you really do need to learn to block a bit more. Oh, Iron Greaves of Health. Right, okay. So, oh, here as well you can see, as I think this might be some of my animals. I don't know if I can get them out. No, I don't know. Right, so if we go into here, let me have a look. Skills. Inventory. There we go. So if we so I'm gonna equip them and we are going to we're gonna get rid of those. Yeah. So now we can equip them. And there we go. We've already boosted our health. Which is good. Now, one of the things I will say is that or let's just deal with this bear. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, it didn't really need to kill that bear, but you know, it is the nature of the game. Oh, now throughout the world as well, you will find chests with interesting things in them. Now, what you need to do. I'm not particularly good at it, so as you can see, but you know, some people are, you know, pretty good at it, you know, and it's just something that you have to practice at, really, you know, and sometimes there's interesting stuff in there, you know, sometimes they're not. Now here are nodes. So this is a iron node. You see, so I could take that if I had, you know, space in my inventory, which I don't. Oh, there's a spider up here. So. So there we go. So what do I want? You must choose one of the above rewards. I can't really, because yeah, so I can't actually do that at the moment because, yeah. Now if it's something that you're already holding, you can, because things do stack. $41 experience. And then these people here, they have quests for you. You know, to go and do stuff, take care of the spiders or whatever. And then whilst killing them, you'll get even more experience. And there we go. And you've got jumping as well, so you can jump up onto things. I can go up onto here. if you maybe need to get out the way of something. Although, don't forget, some things can climb as well, so, you know. Oh, you see the owl? The owls. I don't think you can climb up trees. Maybe some trees you can if it's part of a quest. So you got a maple bow there and some the body, I'm guessing, of the spider, you know. So yeah. To put away your weapon, I think it might be it's Z on keyboard, of course. I'm not sure on that spider was a little bit slow, but I think it was more interested in the person standing in front of it. Yeah. And so, of course, you'll find more chests around the place. So that one is an intermediate one, so it's going to be much harder. Here you've got wood, so you can collect wood to make things, you see. I can't pick it up, because, obviously. And, yeah. And be quite careful, because you do have fall damage in this game. I know that for sure. So we can just run through here. We don't really need to join in with anything particularly at the moment. Often as well, you know, you can help out players if you need to. I always think, like, if you think that they're struggling, then, you know, obviously help them out. But if they're doing fine, then I just tend to leave them because, you know, it's more so in dungeons that you can, you know, use each other's help. So sometimes you can be going into a dungeon that's like, there's like a public dungeon. Anybody can go in it, and it can have lots of people in it all at the same time. And that's when you can, like, help each other out, you know, just to, you know, to get things that you need. So he took off all his armor, I think, and just sat there and died. His cuirass could be pretty good. So we're going to take that. Okay then. So let's see if I can put the iron cuirass on. So there we go, and that's what we look like. Looks quite nice. Do we have a helmet as well? Because I really don't like this helmet. You know, everything's to everybody's, to different people's taste. You know, some people like, you know, different things. I mean, I'm not particularly keen on the helmets with horns and stuff as well. In fact, I'm not particularly keen on wearing helmets, if I'm honest. Oh, also as well, I do believe that on here, I think, now where is that? There is, you can hide the helmet, and I don't believe it costs you anything either. Unlike the Star Wars game, which I found a bit weird. settings, interface. So here's all your different, you know, things that you might want to change. Interface, maybe. Social. Oh, also as well, you can go to a dyeing station, and you can dye your outfits whatever color you want. So you can do all that as well. So heads up display as well. So this will tell you, like here, you've got how much damage you're doing and things like that. You know, you know, so it will give you lots of information if you're one of those people and you want to know how much damage you're doing because you want to do better, you know, and things like that. It just really depends how, you know, how far you want to go, really. Settings, video. Gameplay. Could it be here? Double tap to dodge. Double tap speed. Ground targeting. Prevent attacking innocents. Now this is quite an interesting one. You may want to do when you first start. Now I think by default it's... I don't know if by default... I'm guessing it is that it's turned off by default. You can turn it on, and then that means that if you hit somebody, you can't hit somebody that you didn't mean to, and then therefore the guards come and kill you. It just saves from having to do all that. Here you've got auto loot as well. You can turn that on, so you'll just pick stuff up. You can decide whether you want to auto loot stolen items and things like that. Right. So, hide polymorph helmet, so you can turn that on. But now polymorphs is just skins that go over the top of this armor, so you can get some armor that would just look, you know, loads better. So yeah. And here's all your social. Now, as far as I know, it doesn't have a voice channel. I don't know why. It's something they seem to leave out of every game, but yeah, I don't know why. What is this? Oh, that's my add-ons. You can go to different websites, and you can add on things that will be useful to you. So it will show things that are useful to you on your mini map. Or it will give you a mini map, things like that. Just like useful little add-ons. But again, beginning, I don't think you really need to worry about any of that, to be honest. Oh, there's your so you see there's elves and that, you know. It's in this game you can go wherever you like, no matter what faction you are. It doesn't matter. I mean, you will get attacked by the other faction, but you know that's fine. So there's that statue, look. No, can't take any of that. Can I go round here? And there you go, look. See? And there's the statue. Do do do. Bing. So yeah, I'm hoping as well that one day we will get a game of this quality that looks this good and this beautiful as a VR MMORPG, because I think that would be absolutely amazing. We get one step further to Sword Art Online. I would really like that, I think. So yeah. So is there anything that that I've missed out? Almira's house. Can we go in there? So she has a quest for you. You can break and enter as well. Also as well, there is a now again, I don't know if you have to buy the Dark Brotherhood DLC or the Thieves Guild DLC. I'm not sure. I think you do, and when you buy the Thieves Guild DLC, you will be able to go around and just murder NPCs and rob them. Basically, it's that simple. Ah, now here is a crafting place. So here is your one stop for crafting things. So woodworking, and there's a book here that you know, so you can read this, and it sort of gives you some advice, I think. So there's woodwork, there is clothing, blacksmithing, cooking, a brewer, so you can brew mead and stuff like that, enchanting. This is yep, alchemy, so you can make potions and things like that, health potions and things, contracts and bounties as well. So I think you can hunt other players, I think, and NPC quests as well. So there's that. This is your outfit station. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know if it will let me. Now I do. Yeah. No outfits. Outfit 1. Unlock a new outfit. Okay. No, I don't want to do any of that. So obviously, some of the colours are unlocked and others aren't. It costs you money as well. You know. So there is that. Yeah, but here we go. So can I put any of these on? So there are there's all sorts of different types of guards. So you can see here. We could put that on. There you go, look. Hands. And you can mix and match to your heart's content. You know, it doesn't matter. There you go. Feet. There you go. See. And that's, you know, that's kind of what you look like. And basically, it's not replacing your actual armor, because none of this has any stats. It is just to, you know, it's a cosmetic thing, so you can walk around and look cool, basically. And I think you can color these as well. I believe. So, yeah. So you can go back to dyes, and you can dye different parts as well. So, there you go. So, and there you go. So we're making it all kind of a hot pink, and then you would just click apply changes, and voila, you would. I don't think I've got the gold to do it, but I mean you could, and I could be running around as the Pink Panther. So yeah. So we just come out of all of that. Decline. Yep. So that's kind of what that does. And so here we go. So the bank as well. And you've got guild banks as well. So you've got guilds. You see, and here we've got all the stuff. Necklace of the Twin Sisters and stuff. So this is stuff I've put away on other characters, and on your account it doesn't matter how many characters you've got, you can all access the same things, so that's fine as well. Got loads of maps and stuff, so yeah. And then in here you can I think I've got some money as well, so there's money. I could withdraw some money as well, so you can do that as well. So if on your other characters you've made some money, you can put some in the bank for another character to take out, to make it maybe easier to start playing that character. And so, you know, we can do all of that. And what we can also do, I'll try and show you. Yep. So you can refine things. So if you've got a weapon, you can make it sharper and therefore better. You can obviously create a new weapon. And you can deconstruct stuff. Now this is quite useful. So if you find yourself a load of, you know, weapons like I did out in the world, you can keep them and then you can just deconstruct them. Oh yes, that's very true. But you still need to have empty slots. So yeah. So yeah, you can do that. So here we have.
We have to evacuate.
So if you kill lives.
Anna has no idea what she's doing.
Shut up.
Did I ever risk your lives like this?
If you kill livestock owned by a citizen, you then get a bounty placed on your head. And so I think those bounties, other players, if it gets high enough, other players can hunt you down, kill you, and then they get rewarded with the bounty. So that there is so many things to do in this game. So you could basically just play the game hunting other NPCs. Yeah, literally. There are so many ways to play the game. You know, you can do what you want to do, or don't do what you don't want to do. Now, something I did want to show you, just before we wrap up this video. Now I do have some houses, so I should be able to. Houses, right. Golden Griffin Garret, Mara's Kiss Public House, the Rosy Lion. Not collected. Somerset. Alanor Crest Townhouse. Right, so can I go here? Oh, not collected. Collected. Okay, right, we're... yeah, let's just go there. I think I do own this house, but on the American server. At the moment, I'm on the European server, but you can go on the European server, you can go on the American server, you can go on both. They're basically mega servers. So let's left click, and I will show you the housing. Yeah, so on the American server, I believe I own this house. I own a few houses, and I'll show you the one that you get for free. It's not big, but it's your first starter home. And to be honest, if you're really not into that sort of thing, you know, it's all optional. But if you're not into housing, you could just keep that, decorate that, and just use that. So. And yeah, and not worry about it. So this house is in the Elven lands, which is a DLC. So you wouldn't get this with the base game. This is the Somerset Isles. It's taken a little while to load. That's kind of what it looks like. But it is, you know, it's a beautiful looking game. If you don't like the tab targeting of some of the other games, maybe this would be more of a thing for you. Some people will find that easier. Some people will find tab targeting easier. It's a preference. I find this easier for me, but I think it's just because I got used to it and I found it a lot more natural and immersive that, as opposed to tab targeting. This is really taking a while. I mean, even as a new player, you should be able to go to these places, and I do own this DLC, so I should be able to go there. On the heights of Alanor, because I did want to show you like another area as well, which is part of the part of this DLC that you can buy, but it doesn't seem to be working. I'm not sure I can even reverse it, really. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. I'm not sure what's wrong there. But you know, the picture kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect. Obviously, the houses vary in size. Like I said, your first starter home will usually be a room in a pub, basically, and you know that will be so big. And then you can go on to buy, you know, smaller houses and the big houses. There are some sort of huge houses, which some people use for guild, you know, guild housing, and things like that. Yeah, it's just it's not doing it, is it? It says it's working, but it's a bit of a shame, really. Yeah, so I'm afraid that's you know all I can show you. I'm afraid, but so you know I hope you enjoyed this. It probably wasn't as long as the Star Wars The Old Republic. I got into that like a lot more than I thought I would. As I've said, most MMORPGs do tend to be more sort of a fantasy setting, dragons, magic, swords, yeah, that sort of thing, castles, and yeah, that sort of genre, more or less. So this, I'm not saying that there aren't games that don't have like you know, guns in and things like that. They're more of a they're rarer amongst the MMORPGs. A lot of them do tend to be more magic. But I think World of Warcraft. I think the dwarves have guns, like sort of blunderbusses. So you know there is that, but these games do tend to be more fantasy, whereas the Star Wars The Old Republic was more, you know, space and stormtroopers and lightsabers and yeah, that sort of thing. So I found that quite interesting, and I probably will get around to playing some more of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I may have left some things out. You know, for that I apologise. There is so much in this game, and in you know, MMORPGs in general. There tend to always be lots and lots of things to do because they're designed to be kind of like a metaverse. You know, in that you can. Oh, hang on. What's it doing now? This is one of the dwarven ruins, I believe. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be fixing itself really. So for that, unable to connect to a game server. Yeah, so there we go. I do apologise. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, I may have left some things out. But I definitely think the game could be worth your time and money. And like I said, you need to buy the base game, and then after that you can play pretty much and not spend anything. you really don't have to. It's absolutely optional. Also, as well, every day when you log in, you get reward login gifts as well, which can be quite useful. You get a horse as well if you buy the the bigger DLCs, or chapters as they're known. You can buy like a basic version, and then there's like a version with digital goodies. Some of them I bought the digital ones with the digital goodies, and I got things like horses and pets and and things like that. So yeah, so yeah, I hope it was enjoyable for you. I tried to cover as much as possible. I'm sorry if I didn't hit upon something, or I forgot to include something. But if it seems like it might be your sort of thing, then I'm sure you can discover those things for yourself. So until the next video, be safe, be well, and remember, if you can't make the world better, don't make it worse. Bye for now.